Okay, it's Friday, January 28th. Just thought I'd give a little mid-morning update. It's 10 o'clock, so an hour and a half into trading. And what you could see here, looking at the daily chart, so far what's developed is we did start down, which I'll show you in a second on the smaller time frames. You kind of had this inside day break to the downside. It reached, this was the magnitude here. It seemed pretty likely you were going to take out this chart this day as well, and the overnight lows had really flushed lower, but price never did that. And it just reached its first little target, and now we're possibly reversing up. We're still not really at the midpoint of this bar to confirm it. And to me, that kind of lines up with the overnight highs here, the blue line. So this is what we're looking for now as price starts to reverse up. Can we actually continue strong, take out this overnight high, midpoint of yesterday? Then that could maybe start the 3 up kind of thing where we really aren't going to be heading down. But it's a little tricky. It kind of looks like that might be developing, but we're not quite there yet. It also is possible we can come up right to this level, take out some stops I'll show you, and then reverse lower and continue this whole day down. But as of now, at least, we're reversing a little higher. On the hourly chart, you did get the 2 down as we were talking about. And I'll show you in the shorter term frame charts in a second that there was an attempt to try an aggressive trade, which you kind of saw was failing and you had to get out. You kind of barely took out the second hourly bar here on the downside for a 2 down that started, but then it came up to the midpoint of that bar. So that was kind of the sign that, okay, at least for the morning, you're not going to get that initial flush to the downside. And again, here's what we're looking at. Here's the overnight highs. Here's the midpoint of yesterday. We're heading higher now on, it looks like a 3 bar has formed, so the hourly chart is heading here. But if we can head up here and kind of fail and get a 2 down, that's where you're going to see, the downside more in the afternoon. If not, then we might be, if it comes up here strongly and breaks through here, then you can look for maybe a 3-day forming to the upside, look for kind of a pullback to maybe trade long a little bit. So we're kind of at an interesting point here. Obviously, the market didn't want to flush right from the start on the 5-minute chart as it started down right from the gap. You were heading down there. If you wanted to aggressively enter on some bar here, you could have tried it. If not, you did have the 2 up, 2 down to really expect that other push down. But as soon as it didn't follow through and started higher, at that point you had to say, okay, the real aggressive downside trade didn't work. Now I'll watch it and everything. At that point, you kind of go to the 15-minute chart and just see, once you're failing down here, if you can come up and kind of hold the midpoint and get a kind of a 2 up, 2 down, but you didn't get that. And then price now is working its way higher. But I still think there's the potential just to broaden out here, to trap some buyers thinking we have a big reversal and then eventually head down. And we're just going to have to look at the hourly chart at this point and see what's going on. So that's kind of the mid update. Wasn't really a major push to the downside. Now you expected this little follow through up, but until we get above this area, I can't confirm the state of the upside yet. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Breakthrough upside, and I might look for buys later. If we fail up here on the hourly chart, then I'm going to play the downside and expect on the daily chart that this inside day break to the downside is still in force, and we might be heading lower, into the afternoon.